Hello guys. I hope it has been a long holiday and it has been quite hectic on my side. I've been waking up at 6 and also finishing my work at 6 p.m. That is waking up at 6 a.m., finishing some of my work at 6 p.m. So it has been so hectic. In fact, I've not even enjoyed this bit of the holiday. So it has not given me much of the time for the video production because it has to take a lot of time. You don't just release a video. It has to take a lot of time, video editing and all that kind of stuffs. So I'm really apologizing for receiving the assignments late. I'm going to try as much as possible so as to make them as short as possible, but try to look for the 8 videos within the YouTube. So I'm also trying to work with the YouTube so as to improve all the video qualities and also maybe try to bring in new members into the program. Otherwise, thank you very much. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your subscription. Just continue subscribing. For those who have not subscribed to my video clips, please try as much as possible to subscribe so that each and every release of the video, you will be the first one to obtain it. Otherwise, thank you and welcome to today's assignment. Okay, let's look at example 1. So in our example 1, we have find the value of x in the following equation. So let me first of all pick my pen. Okay, so we have these. We are supposed to find the value of x in the following equation. So the equation reads 49 raised to power x plus 1, and then plus 7 raised to power 2x is equal to 350. So we are going to solve these. Now for you to solve this one, we are going to have it written here is equal to 350. And then we know that 49 is the same as 7 squared. So if I write 7 squared, then it means that I'm going to put x plus 1 into bracket, meaning that this 2 is going to multiply everything that is going to be inside the bracket. Okay, plus 7 raised to power 2x gives me 350. Now if I open up this bracket, I'm going to have 2x plus 2, but remember they are the powers, and from the law of indices we know that when the powers are added, then it means that there is that multiplication bit of it. So we are going to have 7 raised to power 2x multiplied by 7 raised to power 2, which can as well be written as 7 raised to power in bracket 2x plus 2. So because we have just removed the powers, we have split it, so we'll be having 7 raised to power 2x multiplied by 7 raised to power 2, and then plus 7 raised to power 2x. So this one will give me 350. But there's something I'm seeing here. When you look at these, 7 raised to power 2x and these 7 raised to power 2x. So they are common, so I can replace it with a known since they are common. So I can let these 7 raised to power 2x and 7 raised to power 2x to be represented by y, so that now my 7 squared just goes to 49. And then this one will be y, and this will also be y. So let 7 raised to power 2x be y. Hence, now if I replace 7 raised to power 2x by y, what am I going to have? I'm going to have y times 49, and then y times 49, which will give me 49y, and then plus y, so this gives me 350. So 49y plus 49 plus y will give me 50y is equal to 350. So I can divide both sides by 50. So 50 divided by 50 divided by 50. So 50y over 50 is y. Then 350 divided by 50 is 7. So y is equal to 7. So it means that my 7 raised to power 2x is equivalent to 7 raised to power 1. So because the bases are the same, the bases have 7, 7. So it means that the powers must also be the same. So it means that 2x is equal to 1. Therefore, if 2x is equal to 1, then x will be 1 divided by 2, which is a half. So x is going to be a half. So that is example 1. Then you can write down this assignment for question number 1. So this form 3 work. The form 3s were going to form 4s, I mean. So you can write this. Assignment question number 1. Find the value of x in the following equation. Find the value of x in the following equation. So here we have 8 raised to power x plus 1 plus 2 raised to power 3x is equal to 36. So you can go ahead and work out that. So we can move to example 2. In our example 2 reads, a translation maps a point 1, 2 onto negative 2, 2, full stop. What will be the coordinate of the object whose image is negative 3, negative 3 under the same translation? So a translation is a type of a transformation that moves an object to the image at a certain distance. So you'll find that it doesn't interfere with the shape of the object, but it's only that the object has been displaced to the image at equal distances from the vertex if it is a triangle, or maybe from the object. So we have a translation which is mapping 1, 2 onto negative 2, 2. Okay, so first of all, we are going to find out this translation. So let's look at the solution. So in our solution, we are going to remind ourselves. We know that for you to get the image, we normally take the object, we add to the translation. So I is equal to O plus T, where I is the image, O is the object, and T is the translation vector, I mean. So this is the translation vector. Okay, so now, so if I want translation, then it means I'll have to move this O on this other side, so that when O moves on the other side of the equal sign, it changes to minus. So that's why we are going to have I minus O. So it means translation T is equal to image I minus object. And our image, if we write it now in vector form, remember here they are in coordinates, but now we can write them in vector form in this manner. So our image is going to be negative 2, 2 minus 1, 2. This one will give me negative 2 minus 1. Oh, let me pick my pen. So that. Okay, so we have negative 2 minus 1, so which is still negative 3. Then 2 minus 2 will give me 0. So my translation vector will be negative 3, 0. Okay, so that is translation vector. Now, if I want the object will now be the image minus the translation. Now, let's look at the question. The question, what will be the coordinates of the object? So we are looking for the object whose image is also given there. Okay, so we can use the formula object is equal to image minus translation, and here is our translation negative 3, 0. Our image is negative 3, negative 3. So negative 3 minus negative 3, 0. So let's start with negative 3. Negative 3 minus minus 3. Minus gives us plus. So it will be negative 3 plus 3, which is 0. Then we have negative 3 minus 0. So negative 3 minus 0, it's just negative 3. So we are going to have our image in vector form as 0, negative 3. But remember, we are supposed to look for the object. I mean the object which is supposed to be in a coordinate form, the coordinates of the object, not the vector, the column vector form of the object. So what are we going to do? So we are going to write it in form of coordinates. So it will be 0, negative 3. I hope we are together. You've got it right. So that's how it's supposed to be done. Now let's move to the assignment. Now in our assignment, you can write this. A translation maps a point 2, 4 onto negative 4, 4. What will be the coordinate of the object whose image is negative 6, negative 6 under the same translation? You can work out that. Example 3. Now in our example 3 reads, the ratio of the lengths of the corresponding sides of two similar rectangles water tank is 3 to 5. The volume of the smaller tank is 8.1 cubic meters. Now calculate the volume of the larger tank. Now this ratio that you are given here corresponds to the linear scale factor. Remember, these are two figures, two rectangles that are similar. So there's similarity and enlargement here, which you are supposed to use. So 3 to 5 represents the linear scale factor. And what we are given here is volume. So it means I'm supposed to use my linear scale factor to get my volume scale factor. Now let's look at the solution. How do you go about this? Okay. So first of all, we have to get the linear scale factor, which is the ratio, which is 3 over 5. Now if I want the volume scale factor, what I do, I simply cube the linear scale factor. If it was area scale factor, then I simply square the linear scale factor to get the area scale factor. But for this case, it is volume, so I'll be looking for the volume scale factor. Now my volume scale factor will be 3 over 5 cubed, which will give me 3 cubed is 27, 5 cubed is 125. So I'll have 27 over 125 is equal to, remember, 27 corresponds to the smaller volume, which is 8.1, and then 125 corresponds to the larger volume, which I'm looking for and I don't know. So I'll represent it with V. So if I cross multiply these, if I cross multiply that, oh, let me grab that. Okay, maybe I reduce the font so that I can cross multiply. Now if I cross multiply 27 by V and then 8.1 by 125, then I'll get this, or 27V and then 125 times 8.1. So I can divide both sides by 27. So volume will be 125 times 8.1 divided by 27. So if you divide this, you'll get 37.5 cubic meters, and that's the correct answer. Okay, so that's how we go about that. Now it's your turn. You can take this assignment for this question number 3. It's now your turn. So maybe let me pick my pen. So the assignment for question number 3, the ratio of the lengths of the corresponding sides of two similar rectangles water tank is 2 to 3. The volume of the smaller tank is 24 cubic meters. Now calculate the volume of the larger the larger tank. So you can write down that one and then do it. Okay. Let's look at example 4. So in our example 4, we have this question, simplify completely. Now when I look at this question, I have 3x squared minus 1 over x squared minus 1 minus 2x plus 1 over x plus 1. So I can just have these, I can get the LCM of x, these two, I can treat it like a fraction so that I get the LCM of these and these. Remember, the LCM of these and these is just the same as this one, which is x squared minus 1. Why? Because x squared minus 1 can also be written as x minus 1 into bracket x plus 1. So it means this one can go into this one. Okay, so x squared minus 1 and then x plus 1. So this one I can decide and say the LCM is this, which is x squared minus 1. But x squared minus 1 can also be written as x minus 1 into bracket x plus 1. You can see that. So if you work out these, x and x is x squared, negative negative is negative, 1 and 1 is 1. So x squared minus 1. Or if you still doubt, you can just expand this and you still come to x squared minus 1. So x squared minus 1 goes in the whole of these 1 times. So that's why I have to multiply 1 times this. So 1 into bracket 3x squared minus 1. And then x plus 1 goes here how many times? X minus 1 times. So x minus 1 times this, which will be x minus 1 into 2x plus 1. Then we open up the brackets. So this one remains. Then I can first of all open up this one. Okay, so if you open up these, we are going to have x times the whole of this, x times 2x plus 1, which is 2x squared plus x, and then minus 1 times the whole of this, which is minus 2x minus 1. Okay, so I've still retained this one. Okay, so 1 times this one just remains 3x squared minus 1. So I'll put it here, 3x squared minus 1, and then this negative will affect everything inside this curly bracket. So we are going to have minus 2x squared, and then minus and times positive x, it will be minus x, and then minus and negative 2x will be plus 2x, and then minus and negative 1 will be plus 1. Okay, so we have expanded that. Now the last bit, so we'll collect the like terms. So you can see 3x squared and minus 2x squared is x squared. Of course, negative 1 plus 1 is 0. And then we also have negative x plus 2x, which is x. Okay, negative x plus 2x is x. So we are going to have this one here. Then the denominator side just remains the same. So if we factorize x outside here, we are going to have x into bracket x plus 1, and then x minus 1, x plus 1. Of course, x plus 1 and x plus 1 are the same, so I can cancel this one, cancel this, cancel with that, so that we now have x into bracket x minus 1. Okay. So we can now move to your question. So for your assignment, you can do this, simplify completely. 4x squared minus 1 over x squared minus 1 minus x minus 1 x minus 1. So you can see x minus 1, x minus 1. Okay, so you can work out that. Then let's look at example 5. In our example 5, we have a salesman gets a commission of 2.4% on sales up to 100,000. He gets an additional commission of 1.5% on sales above this. Calculate the commission he gets on sales worth 280,000. So 280,000 is more than 100,000. So we are going to have the commission for the first 2.4, which is for the first 100,000 Kenyan shillings, and then the 1.5 for 180 that is on top. Okay, so let's look at that. Now the solution here, the solution to this will be 2.4 over 100 times the first 100 shillings. Okay, then 1.5 over 100 times the 180, which is on top of that 100. So the first bit you'll get to be 2,400, the second bit you get to be 2,700, of which if you add the two commission, you'll get 5,100 Kenyan shillings. So that's the commission. Now let's look at the question. Question number 5. So for your assignment, you can write this. A salesman gets a commission of, let me pick my pen. A salesman gets a commission of 5% on sales up to 150,000 shillings. He gets an additional commission of 3% on sales above this. Calculate the commission he gets on sales worth 280,000. So you can work out that. Then the next question, the next example 6. The second and the fifth term of a geometric progression are 16 and 2 respectively. Determine the common ratio and the first term. So we have the second and the fifth term. So we know that for the geometric progression, we have the first term as a, the second term as ar, the third term as ar squared, the fourth term as ar cubed, the fifth term as ar raised to power 4. But we are only concentrating on ar and ar raised to power 4. So ar we have been given to be 16. ar raised to power 4 we have been given to be 2. So now I'm going to just find a way through which I can get the value of r. So if I take ar raised to power 4, then divide by ar, which is the same as taking 2 divided by 16, I'll cancel the a's will go, the a's here will go, of course, then I remain, r will also go here 1, here r raised to power 3. So 2 over 16 is the same as 1 over 8. So r cubed is equal to 1 over 8. Okay. Now for me to get r alone, what am I going to do? For me to get r alone, I can get the cube root of r cube, which is r, then the cube root of let me just remove that. The cube root of this one, let me change my pen. The cube root of 1 over 8, and cube root of 1 over 8 is the same as a half. So we are going to have r is equal to a half. So if r is equal to a half and ar here is 16, so where this r I replace a half, so it will be a times a half, which is a half a is equal to 16. Then you can multiply both sides by 2, multiply this side by 2, this side also by 2. 2 and 2 will cancel, then we are going to have 2 times 16, which is 32. So our a is going to be 32, our r is a half. So that's how we are supposed to go about that. Now here is your assignment for question number 6. It reads, the third and the fourth term of a geometric progression are 8 and 4 respectively. Determine the common ratio and the first term. Determine the common ratio and the first term. Then we can look at example 7. In example 7, we have a manufacturer sells bottles of fruit juice to a trader at a profit of 40%. The trader sells it for 84 at a profit of 20%. Find the trader's buying price and then the cost of manufacture of one bottle. So we have two parties here. We have the manufacturer who also wants to make profit, and then we have the trader who also wants to make some profit. So we have a manufacturer who is going to sell the fruit juice to a trader, of course, so that this trader can go ahead and sell it. So he wants to sell it and makes a profit of 40%. The trader on the other side also wants to sell it for 84 shillings and at the same time make a profit of 20%. So how do you go about this? Now let's go to the solution. So in our solution, we are going to say that 120%, which is the selling price, is equivalent to 84. That is by the trader. Now this trader bought it at what? 100% will be equivalent to 70. So it means that this trader, for him to make a profit of 20%, it means he bought it at 70 shillings. So this 70 was the selling price of the manufacturer. So the manufacturer shall have sold it at a certain percentage of 140, which is equivalent to 70. So what about 100%? So if you cross multiply these, you get 50 as the buying price. Okay. So we have assignment for that same question. A manufacturer sells bottle of milk to a trader at a profit of 20%. The trader sells it for 300 at a profit of 50%. Find the trader's buying price and then the cost of the manufacturer of one bottle in 2 decimal places. Remember, 2 decimal places. Let's look at example 8. In our example 8, we have, without using logarithm tables, find the value of x in the equation. So we are going to work out this without using logarithm tables. So we are going to remind ourselves about the laws of logarithm. Of course, here we have log x cubed plus log 5x is equal to 5 log 2 minus log into 2 over 5. So when there is addition here, it means the multiplication. So x cubed times 5x. So if we bring them together, we'll have log into x cubed times 5x, close the bracket, is equal to, on this other side, we know that 5 log 2 is the same as log of 2 raised to power 5. So you bring this one on top of this, so it is power 5. So 2 raised to power 5, then minus log 2 over 5. So whenever there is minus, it means division. So it means 2 raised to power 5 divided by 2 over 5. So 2 raised to power 5 divided by 2 over 5. In bracket, you put outside logs. So then we drop these logs. Okay, so we drop these logs and then we take what is in front of the logs, which is x cubed times 5x, which will give me 5x raised to power 4 is equal to 32 times 5 over 2. So 32 times 5 over 2, 2 will go here 1, here 16. So 16 times 5 will give me 80. So 5x raised to power 4 is equal to 80. So I can divide both sides by 5. So if you divide both sides by 5, we'll get 16. So x raised to power 4 is equal to 16. Of course, if you get the fourth root on both sides of x raised to power 4 is x, and then fourth root of 16 is 2. So we'll have x to be 2 as our answer. So let's look at question to this. Question number 8 for your assignment. Without using logarithm tables, find the value of x in the equation. So here we have log x squared plus log 4x is equal to 4 log of 2 minus log a half. So you can do that. Now let's look at the next question. The next example, I mean. So in our next example, we have two variables, p and l, are such that p varies partly as l and partly as square root of l. Determine the relationship between p and l. When l is 16, p is 500, and when l is 25, p is 800. So it means that we have two variables, p and l. So these are varying, so that p varies partly as l. Okay, so p is equal to some constants l plus some constants square root of l. Okay, so we can look at the solution to this, how we are supposed to do it. So the question will be, the equation of the relation, we are going to have p is equal to a constant a, l, plus a constant b, then square root of l. So when p is 500, we have l to be 16. So it means 500 is equal to 16a plus b square root of l, which is 16. Okay, then when it is 800, l is 25. So we have 800 is equal to 25a plus b square root of 25. Now if you work out this one, we are going to have, so I'm going to rewrite them again so that I can have 16a plus square root of 16 is 4, so 4b. 16a plus 4b, which should give me 500, so I've written it here. And then for this one also I write it as 25a plus square root of 25 is 5b. So 25a plus 5b should give me 800. So 25a plus 5b is equal to 800. Now what am I going to do now? What am I going to do? Now once you've done that, just a minute. So once you've done that, we are going to use elimination method. I want to eliminate b's, these ones. I want to eliminate the b's. Now if I want to eliminate the b's, now what am I going to do? I'm going to look for the LCM of 5 and 4. And the LCM of 5 and 4 is none other than 20. Just a minute. So it is 20. So it is 20. The LCM is 20. No, I will say 4 goes into 20 how many times? 5 times. So the whole of these are multiplied by 5. 5 goes into 20 how many times? 4 times. The whole of these are multiplied by 4. So what am I going to have? I'll have 5. Now when you look at 5 times 500 is 2500. 4 times 800 is 3200. So it means that this one is greater than this. So I'll start with this lower one so as to avoid negatives. So when I multiply 4 times this, I'll get 100a. 4 times 5 is 20b is equal to 3200. Then 5 times 16a is 80a. 5 times 4b is 20b is equal to 5 times 500 is 2500. So if you subtract this, we are going to have 20a. This one, 100 minus 80 is 20a. 20 minus 20, 20b minus 20b is 0, so there's no need for us to write it. Then 3200 minus 2500 is 700. So it means that 20a is equal to 700. So 20 is equal to 700. Divide both sides by 20 by 20. Okay, so we'll have a is equal to 700 divided by 20 is 35. Okay, so I already have my a to be 35, so I can go ahead and get my b. So I can just pick one of the equation. 16a plus 4b is equal to 500. So 16 times a, which is 16 times 35, plus 4b is equal to 500. So 16 times 35 is 560, plus 4b is equal to 500. So I'll take this 560 the other side, so that I'll have 4b is equal to 500 minus 560 will be negative 60. So 4b is equal to negative 60. Divide both sides by 4 by 4. So 4 over 4 is 1, which is b. So negative 60 divided by 4 is negative 15. So it means that my b is negative 15. Then because we are supposed to write the equation of the relation, we know that in our equation of the relation, p is equal to al plus b square root of l. So what is my a? My a is 35. So I'll write p is equal to 35l. Okay. Then what is my b? My b is negative 15. So instead of writing plus, I'll just write minus 15, because our negative is much greater than the positive. So I'll have negative 15, then square root of L. So this one becomes my equation of the relation. So for your assignment, you'll do assignment question number 9. So which is two variable q and r are such that q varies partly as r and partly as the square root of r. Determine the relationship between q and r when r is 36, q is 500, and when l is 64, q is 800. So this one is not supposed to be l. So this is supposed to be when r is equal to 64, q is equal to 800. So we can that change. Okay, so example 10. Now example 10, we are given this: evaluate negative 8 divided by 2 plus 12 times 9 minus 4 times 6. Everything over 56 divided by 7 times 2. So let's work out this. So for us to work out this one, we are going to have it in two parts. So the numerator 1 and the denominator 1. So for the numerator side, we have negative 8 divided by 2 plus 12 times 9 minus 4 times 6. So you can use the board mass here. So we'll start with the division. Negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. The rest you can just write. And then we go to multiplication. 12 times 9 is 108. Then negative 4 times 6 is negative 24. So negative 4 plus 108 minus 24 gives us 80. So that is for the numerator side, which is 80. Then on the denominator side, we have 56 divided by 7 times 2. So division first. 56 divided by 7 is 8. Then multiply by 2, we get 16. So numerator over denominator gives us 80 over 16. So 80 over 16 is 5. So you can see how I've arranged my work such that even if somebody is to mark, will not get confused. So please, let's try to arrange our work. So that's what normally fail most students, because they fail to arrange their work. So when you fail to arrange your work, there are some teachers who won't take time looking into your work or searching for the answers. So there are those ones who are not not that they are not keen, but now at times they don't have much time to look into your work. So try as much as possible to always arrange your work so that your work seduces the teacher. Okay. So for the assignment, for question number 10, reads, evaluate negative 16 divided by 2 plus 6 times 9 minus 5 times 6. Everything over 48 divided by 6 times 2. So you can write down that. So that marks the end of Form 3 tutorial and assignment for today. Thank you very much. Check for the next video 2, where you'll also get the assignment. Thank you. Welcome.